Very good, very good, very good. Hello, hello, how are you? Greetings, blessings. I greet you, because today you are going to be my companions. We are going to go together to discover. Not discover, I think that's not the word, but rather to rediscover and get to know. One of the places that very few have visited up to today, but it's one of the places that many of you have asked us about, have sent us messages about, saying how great it would be for us to visit this place, and how great it would be for us to get to know this place. It's about Kadesh, Barnea. It's one of the places where, according to what we see in the scriptures, several events took place, starting from Genesis and continuing through various parts. For example, the book of Numbers, and so on. We find that in that place, we can remember the story of Abraham fighting against the people. I don't want to get ahead of myself about which people it is, because we're going to read it with the scriptures, fighting against the people, having the victory in that place. We also remember that it tells us that Mariah, the sister of Moses, dies in that place. We are also reminded that this place was a campsite, meaning that the people who wandered for 40 years in the desert camped there and stayed there. We also have the story where the spies are sent. And remember the story of Caleb and Joshua, that they both return with the news. That they, according to what they interpreted and saw, that happens at the place we are going to visit in the next few minutes. So let's embark on this new adventure together. Kadesh Barnea. We are going to delve into the pages of the Bible and start a new episode of Getting to Know Israel with the Bible in hand. So fasten your seatbelt and get ready, because here we go. In the meantime, I'm going to set up ways here so we can head to that place, okay? Make yourselves comfortable and get ready to experience an adventure in the desert. Here we go. Let me tell you that as we keep going, now we're on a road that's a bit here. These are considered dangerous roads. Why? Because they're kind of facing each other, right? And in this place, usually at night when there's not much lighting, there are a lot of accidents. We're fine, there's no problem. The maximum speed you can go here is 90 kilometers per hour, no more than that. But yes, we did have some accidents here a few months ago. Sadly, many people lost their lives, so you must be very careful and pay close attention. But there's something I want to show you, and while we're paying close attention, I want to show you something. And I want you to look ahead now. You can probably see that really bright light over there, right? It's right there in front of you, almost in front of your eyes. It's a light that shines a lot. It's not an alien spaceship. It's not a beam coming from somewhere. It's not something that's consuming anything. I don't know. There isn't any strange theory you could imagine. Instead, it's one of the modern concepts that Israel has. In the desert area where they have solar energy, it's a solar energy field. There are panels, and what those panels do is that the thing on top is a tower that captures... Can you maybe see it over there? It's a tower that captures. There, it's a tower that captures the energy from the sun and reflects it onto lower panels. They capture it with motors, and later that transforms it into energy. That can provide electricity to an entire population that is located here in the area, and there are 2 of these systems. We are going to visit them, we are going to get to know them another time, and we are going to investigate how they work. This system. Meanwhile, I'll let you guys... In the meantime, I'm gonna let you appreciate it more or less from here. How can you see this field? In fact, I'm gonna try to stop in a spot so you can see it with a perhaps more panoramic image. So let's go to this place where maybe I can climb a little hill. Okay, look, here I have it. Like I told you, we're in a kind of high place. If you can see, vehicles are passing by down there. It's like we're on a kind of little hill and the cars are passing below us. See, right there, okay? So what you're seeing back there, I mean, all of that, they're all panels. Panels, 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 panels. And they're positioned as the sun moves. That tower you see there is reflecting, or maybe you can see some of the reflections as they go down to the panels. And inside there, underneath, it has a name. It has a name in Spanish. I can't remember it right now. I'm sure you guys will know it. Go ahead and put it in the comments below. Honestly, I can't remember the name, but it's a machine that grabs all that and turns it into energy. There's a lot of heat. It's a high temperature. I don't remember. I remember that once we were here and they told us how many degrees Celsius it gets. And so that all the iron and everything up there doesn't melt. There have to be cooling systems, which are cooling systems that work very effectively. And below, there are also cooling systems. And all of this generates electricity. Now this is one. Back there, maybe later there's another one. And behind this mountain is another field. Like this, an energy or solar field. Anyway, Israel continues. Investing continues. Doing things. Why? Because one of the things that existed here was the monopoly of a single electric company. And now what they're trying to do is make energy much more affordable for the citizens. But this is a pilot test, meaning it doesn't work for the whole country yet, only for a nearby town. That would serve as a pilot test to see if it could expand nationwide. Really interesting, honestly. So, well, we continue. We keep going down this path. As we keep following this route, we're gonna reach the border with Egypt. So get ready, because that's where we're going to meet the Egyptians. I doubt they'll be there, since the army will probably stop us before we arrive and block our access. Alright then, let's keep going. Let's put on our seatbelts and continue our journey to where we're headed. Kadesh, Barnea. Look, here's an interesting fact. While I was coming, now that I was on the road, something caught my attention, and it's that I saw a lot, you know? Military concentration camps, many military concentration camps, both on the left and on the right. Obviously, I couldn't record them because I'm not allowed to record any of that. Usually they're for drills and things like that. I'm very close to the border with Egypt, even though between Israel and Egypt there is, huh? Peace. I mean, there's a peace treaty. But there's some tension because this part of Egypt is exactly the southern part, let's say, on the map. From the Gaza area, where Gaza ends, and where Gaza really doesn't have a very good relationship with Israel, so that's a pretty conflictive area. I want to show you that, for example, on this route I'm taking, I can't go any further because it's a fire zone. That means entry is not allowed. So now I'm gonna have to turn back, and we'll have to take another route, another road. That other road obviously will be a road where we'll be able to move, and on that side, it will be allowed for us to move. But let me see, I want to show you this, so you can see where we are. Look, we're almost covering the entire area, just like I said, the whole desert region. And as you can see, this sign here says it's forbidden, see? No entry allowed because it's a firing zone. That means we can't continue in that whole area, in that whole place. I'm not allowed to go any further. So, well, let's turn back. We turn around and keep walking. Let's go. Well, look, I'm already here, really close to the entrance. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you the experience of driving in Israel just a few kilometers from the border with Egypt. So those who don't know how to drive, or those who do know how to drive, will now get the feeling that they're driving through one of the less crowded areas. Here, in the middle of the desert. There's a place here that we didn't see on the previous sign, but it was called Beher Milka. Who was this lady? She was one of the wives, sister of someone who had married a brother of Abraham, so she had given birth. And what happened is that people around the year 2006 came here to an area near here from Egypt. And what they did was set up a moshav. What is a moshav? It's a group of homes where some families come, and what they do is establish a space where they decide to live. In Egypt place. So that's what they did. So that's found around here in this area. It's called Milka. It's small but quite interesting. In this whole tour that we're going to do throughout this eastern area, around this site of Kadesh Barnea, we're also going to visit and get to know this place a little bit. Here, it's important for you to know that in this area of Kadesh Barnea, there are actually very few people living here, and what you also find here is a lot of military control. But generally, what you find here, more than anything, is part of, what do you call this? Part of the town. Those who care for the land. For example, if I keep going to the other side, you'll see there aren't any more. There's no entrance. We're already inside one of the neighborhoods. Let's call it a well-controlled neighborhood. You can see how, well, we went through a checkpoint and everything here is well-controlled. Not because there's terrorism here or anything like that, but because of how close it is to Egypt. Jewish families live here, and they're also taking a risk by staying in this place. They're pretty far from the city, really far. You have to come all the way here. You have to come all the way here. It's not on the way to anywhere. You have to come specifically to this place. So now we're going to go down a bit and maybe walk around these places for a while. Or maybe I'll show them to you from up here, from the vehicle. So that you also have the chance for us to take an even bigger tour of this whole area. I'm going to try to see if I'm allowed to get as close as possible to the border area here with Egypt. So let's keep going. Let's keep walking around here. This is interesting. It's really interesting, honestly. And notice that there are hardly any people outside, right? It's okay. We're here in the afternoon hours. But it seems like it's some kind of abandoned city, a small abandoned city. I'm gonna go a little further. Let's see, okay? I have to cut this part. Cut. I'm going to go to the other side. I think that's where the street ends for me, so let's go there. At least that's what I see here on the map, that the street ends for me. Let's see how far. Let's go all the way to the end. Let's see all the way to the end, as far as we can go. I think here we have some kind of roundabout, like a traffic circle. And that's where everything ends for us. It's actually pretty interesting, to be honest. For those who like silence, this is the place to live. Apparently the security also has to be good. Here, nothing strange has ever been heard of, nor of people having a hard time, or anything like that. But well, there are people who don't really like having Egyptian neighbors, or being completely controlled by the military, and having military barriers all the time, and military vehicles constantly driving around in your backyard. I see what appears to be a security room. Yes, there's one here. We'll see if it opens later and try to get inside. And this is, of course, here is like the circle. And I'm coming back again, like at the beginning, right? At the beginning of the entrance, where we had to go in. And let's see if I can see the border from here. I'm going to try to look for another place, and let's see what we find in... Let's search for historical sites here and see what we find. I'm gonna try to park around here, and we're gonna get out and start walking.
Okay, let's go.
Let's see here. This is a security room. These are for when they launch a missile or sound the siren and you're out on the street. These are the famous security rooms. Let's see if it's open. If we can see it. No, it's not open. Look, it's closed. And it's good that it's closed. It means everything is calm and in order. But look, this is underneath. This goes underground. All of this is concrete, and apparently, it should be all this space we have here. All of this. And these are simply the stairs that go down, and people take cover there. Egypt is on the other side, over there by that tree. Now we're going to take a walk to see if
we can,
walk around that place. Let's keep walking. Let's see what we find. What we find throughout this whole area. Notice how there's a park here.
Completely quiet, completely abandoned. This is the ghost town.
We're already back in the car. We had to get back in the car again because a neighbor came out and we didn't. He wasn't very happy that we were filming out here, huh? At least not in his area where he was. So what we're going to do is get the vehicle and drive around a couple of times. Because I also just realized that we're really close to one of the, we're really close to the security prison. Or the maximum security prison. In Israel, where the people are imprisoned, the ones who really did a lot of harm and who are, people that can be very aggressive. So that's also something to consider. The care of these people, of this population. we started to notice while I was there, walking down below, we started to see more movement, more people around. In their vehicles, still able to, still moving around the city. Here we also see, people who apparently are taking their kids out of kindergarten. There's a kindergarten over there. Let's keep going. Walking around this little town, and after that, what we're going to do is go to the places we're really interested in visiting. More than anything, those are the places that remind us, or rather, the scriptures. Now, I want you to get ready. Yes, why? Because we are going to have in it, in what we are going to keep seeing and keep learning. From all this place, it's, places, for example, of... Oh, I have it on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember it, Places where we're going to get into a vehicle that can take us through the middle of the desert, and then we're going to have direct experiences. More than anything, much deeper into the middle of the desert, and where there are routes that we are allowed to take. Move around in there, so we're going to do that too, later on, and we're going to try again to keep exploring, a little more. From this place, we're going to go to the places where, the events happened, and that's where we're going to open the Bible. So, let's see. Let's take a look a little further over here. I just want to get there so you all can.
See,
The very best that we can achieve. Almost to the end of the road, where it really starts, that's where the border begins, where we connect directly with the border with Egypt. Let's see what we have here. Okay, look, here we are again, almost on the outskirts. Out there, there's kind of a lookout point. Let's see if we can reach that lookout up there, the one that's high up, if we're allowed. And here we are. Look at the fences here next to us. It's all kind of obviously like a double security check. Still, obviously what we see here, what we have here on the other side of the fence, this isn't Egypt. It's still under Israeli control, military control. And I'm gonna go up to that upper part where we'll try to get a slightly clearer view. Let's go. Let's go over there. Let's see what we find there. Let's see. It's not good to climb up there. We're not going to mess up the vehicle. Anyway, what we're gonna look at is this. Let's do one thing. We're going to get ready. Let's stop, open the maps, and see how far we have left to reach our destination. And I'm gonna ask for a special guest to come as well to join us wherever we're heading. I'll turn around here since I already have military control over there, and I don't want them to ask us for the footage and for us to have to delete everything we've done so far, so I'll stop here. So don't get lost then. The next part of Kadesh, Barnea. We are going to keep exploring this whole place, this very interesting place, and let's see what we have here. To learn throughout this site, there are several things, several points here, so cheer up, we have a lot to learn. And together we are going to explore Israel, the land of the Bible. We are in the south, Kadesh Barnea, a place where several biblical events took place. And you, together with us, we are going to explore it as much as we can, okay? Greetings, I send my regards to each and every one of you. So I send my regards from here. See you soon.